Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me. For day 27, we're heading up to the Bronx to talk about my New York Yankees. They were 4th in the AL East. That means they were better than the Boston Red Sox. And they had a record of 82-80 with a negative 25 run differential. Now let's go ahead and get this out of the way. As much as I love my Yankees, I know we're not going to win the World Series. We're barely going to hit 500, so we probably won't make the playoffs either. If we do, great. If not, I'm going to expect it. Point is, we have holes in our batting, mainly named Giancarlo Stanton. We have holes in our pitching, and it's going to be even bigger if we can't get Garrett Cole for the whole season. But the point is, I'm a diehard fan. I think that we're going and hope that we're going to compete, but we're not going to be able to overcome the injuries that we've had for years and years. We're not going to overcome the fact that we try to pay for our championships. I say try to because we tried to bring Giancarlo Stanton in to get those 30, 40, 50 home runs a season. That didn't work. We tried to bring some of these other guys in, the pitchers, the hitters, past their prime, not doing what they need to do for us because they were older or they had lucky seasons. So I get that. I'm not anticipating that we're going to, again, hit even 500. I would love for that to happen, but I get it. It's probably not going to happen. Let's go ahead and get to the contributors for the stat leaders. They're pretty straightforward. Gleyber Torres did lead in at-bats, runs, hits, doubles, total bases, and average. I didn't expect he was going to lead in average. Anthony Volpe led in triples, stolen bases, and strikeouts. And finally, Aaron Judge led in home runs, RBIs, walks, on-base percentage, slugging, and on-base plus slugging. Pretty straightforward. Some of the guys I talked about bringing over, they really haven't done much for us. First person we're going to talk about, DJ LeMahieu. The idea of him coming over from Colorado was amazing. He's versatile. He's good when he's on defense, and he was hitting constantly above 300. He was getting production at the plate. His first year in New York, he was batting .327. He had 102 RBIs. He had some stolen bases, had some home runs. The rest was just gravy because his stats were good in those certain areas I just named. However, since then, he's been on the decline. Injury hasn't helped, but the point is he went from 327 down to 243. He went from 102 RBIs to 44. His percentages fell, therefore he's not as productive. His defensive prowess is really what makes him still a valuable piece on this unit. He does have eligibility at first, second, and third. He is going to be able to do well if he can stay healthy. We just need or at least half of what he was doing in Colorado. You know what I'm saying? If we can get a nice mix between 240 and 320, so what's that, like 270, 280, that'd be great. If we could get a few more RBIs, maybe in the 50s, 60s, 70s would be great. Maybe a stolen base here and there, but the point is we need more production from DJ LeMahieu, and we need him to be healthy. Someone else we need more production from, Giancarlo Stanton. I still remember in 2017 when I was getting blown up early in the morning by calls, text messages, Facebook messages, saying, oh my gosh, the Yankees got Stanton. Oh my gosh, you're so happy. Oh my gosh, it's going to be such a good year. No, I wish we would not have done that. Mainly, not because hindsight's 2020, but mainly because he was streaky. Yes, he's a powerhouse. Yes, he can hit home runs. Yes, he can bring people in if they're on base, but what if he doesn't hit a home run? He's really like a 2.0, $100,000 version, if you would, of Adam Dunn. He's either going to hit a home run, but instead of walking, he's going to fly out or he's going to strike out. So Stanton, he went from batting somewhere as high as 290, then 260, 240. Now he's down to lower than 200. He is under 200 in his batting average. Really? Come on, man. He strikes out a ton. Not as much as the last few years, but he's been hurt. Has been in the lineup as much. So I really didn't like the fact we got Stanton. As much as I would love the idea of being able to have Soto, Judge, and Stanton all in a row, that's like the new murderer's row. Because all of those guys can hit home runs. All those guys are powerful, but Stanton can't hit the broadside of a barn. If he does, he's blowing it up with the ball, how fast it comes off the bat. But hopefully the improvement we've seen this year is going to carry over. Hopefully he's going to hit higher than 191. I'm not holding my breath, though. Someone else that I would like to see more production from is Anthony Rizzo. When he came over from Chicago, I was thinking, okay, it's not bad. I don't like the lower batting average, the 230, 240, but it's not the worst thing in the world because he's getting the RBIs. He's getting some home runs. He has a little bit of stolen base power, but we didn't get that guy. We didn't get the triple-digit RBIs. We didn't get the constant 30 home run seasons. We didn't get the 17 or even 10 stolen base season. We got the other version of him. He didn't steal a base last year. I know injuries have definitely plagued him. He didn't even play the whole year, a few years back. And obviously this past year, different injuries. But point being, we didn't get the Chicago Cubs guy who played first base who won the World Series. And that's frustrating because I like Rizzo. I do. As a person, everything he's overcome, off the baseball field, I really like Rizzo. But I want some more production from him. That's not me being whiny. I'm sure that there were times in Chicago where he wasn't hitting like you would expect him to, and Cubs fans were like, hey man, we need more from you, Rizzo. I remember having him on fantasy team when he was, in the heart of that lineup, when Chris Bryant was so good, and you had Starling, what was his name? Starling, not Marte. He was a shortstop. Starling Castro. There we go. They had Starling Castro doing so good. Well, not doing so good, but you get what I'm saying. Like, they won the World Series, and now we kind of have a husk of the guy. But in any case, a little more production from him would be great. Maybe hitting, I think he hit 244 this past year, so that's not bad. But he only had 12 home runs. Last year, 2022, he had 32 home runs. Let's get back to that number, man. With Chicago, there was a span where he had like upwards to 109 RBIs. Let's get back to those, man. But I also realize in order to get the RBIs, you have to hit when there are people on base. And to have people on base, you have to, walk or get hits. And that's not exactly what we do the best of. Really, the Yankees are a home run or bust team. And talking about guys not doing as well with their previous teams, let's talk about my favorite player, Josh Donaldson. Here's the thing. He was bad when he played for the Yankees. I get that. Calf injury, unlucky hits, fact he could barely hit. Point being, in 106 at-bats in the 2023 season, he had 15 hits. 10 of those 15 hits were home runs. Then he went to the Brewers and had 59 at-bats. He only had 10 hits. Of those 10 hits, 3 were home runs. So last year, 2023, he only had 25 hits. Of those 25 hits, 13 were home runs. I'm not saying that he can keep that up over a season, but I'm also saying that's pretty phenomenal. Let's give him some credit. Speaking of pretty phenomenal, the hype that we came in with as Yankees fans with Anthony Volpe playing one of the most overwhelming positions in all of baseball. Now, regardless of whether you're a Yankees fan or not, you have to admit that Jeter was good for the game. You might think he's overrated. He's not the best shortstop. He wasn't the best shortstop on the team at some points in time. He played with Alex Rodriguez. And I think Alex was a better shortstop than him. However, he was clutch. You can say whatever you want about him, but you can't say he ever got in trouble with the media outside. He never got in any off-the-field altercations. He did his job. He did it well. And he just happens to have played for the most prized baseball team in all of Major League Baseball. So, Volpe coming in, high expectations that he's going to have to fill, and while he only did bat 209, he still contributed in some ways. He led the team in triples, and he had 24 stolen bases. That was good. He has to improve his play discipline. Last year, he did have 167 strikeouts. That's not good. He only did then have 24 walks. That's really not good. So improving plate appearance, or at least making better stabs at the ball. And by that, being a more productive out. Instead of striking out, put the ball in play. You can at least move someone over, potentially count on an error from a fielder. And I think that is going to help Volpe. Again, it was his rookie year last year. Overwhelming position. He's going to improve. That's the goal. We want to see improvement from him. He did lead the team in some categories that we talked about before. So it's not like he was a complete bust. But we just need and expect more from him because of the position. We've tried a few different guys there, and we're still comparing him to Jeter. I literally just did it. But I also feel like we all realize no one is going to be Jeter. People might try to make the throws like Jeter. They might wear his shoes. They might, want to wear number 2, but I don't think that we should let anyone wear number 2. I also don't think that Jeter should be the only guy we're kind of focusing on. Because no one says, oh, he's a home run hitter like Babe Ruth. I mean, someone might say they hit monstrous home runs, but let's see someone hit a home run at the Polo Grounds. Point being, the comparisons that we give Volpe and some of the other players, especially to the iconic Yankees, unfair. Because it's not Volpe's job to be Derek Jeter. It's Volpe's job to play the shortstop position for the New York Yankees. So I like Volpe. I think he's going to improve. I hope he improves. Can continue to give it time. I hope and do think he's going to improve. Something else I hope improves is our pitching. Holy cows. We get to the pitching. It was the Garrett Cole show last year. He led everything. Holds went to Wandy Peralta, and the saves went to Clay Holmes. So nothing new there. However, with Cole being out potentially periods of time, maybe even the whole year, even bigger hole in our pitching rotation. We brought in some arms, but we lost a lot of arms. I don't feel good about our pitching overall in any way, shape, or form. Last year we did have Clark Schmidt, second on the team in games started. He was also a 4.6 ERA, 1.4 whip guy. He managed a 500 record, 9 wins with the same number of losses, so he's one of our starters this year, so we're going to have to rely on him. Someone else we're going to have to rely on, Carlos Rodon. Can we please just have the Giants Carlos Rodon that we traded for, that we brought in? Can we have him? Like that year, he had a 2.88 ERA, a 1.03 whip. He had 237 strikeouts. Can we get that guy? Not this one we have with a 6+ ERA doing stuff, blowing kisses to the fans to piss them off. Like, him and Stroman need to just focus on playing. I really hope this isn't a situation where you're bringing a Lance Lynn, or a guy like Lance Lynn, who throws a lot of strikes, or Sonny Gray, who's very methodical, getting the job done in other places. I hope it's not a situation like that where we bring these guys in who were good elsewhere and just falter. That's happened far too often, and it makes me mad. Because then it's almost like hindering those guys' performance moving forward. We need to talk about Nasty Nestor right now. He has pitched for several different teams, and over these last 3 years, he looked great in 2021. He looked even better in 2022. 2023, he fell off the face of the earth. Injuries didn't help, but was he too hyped up? Did he have too much going on? Did he have bad luck? Maybe a mixture of all of them. But the point being, we are going to absolutely positively need him to step up and get back to 2022 form and put that almost 5 ERA behind him. Cortez, we need him to step up. Another group of guys are going to need to step up, the bullpen. They're going to be taxed a lot, especially earlier in the season, because if we do have Cole gone, if he's gone for the whole year, then crap, we're definitely not hitting 500. But the point is, we've lost a lot in the rotation. We've lost a lot in the bullpen. And the fact that we had to go to the bullpen quite a few times last year, we need guys to be stretched out. We need guys to get those quality starts. Dude, even if you're not getting a quality start, we need you to stay in the game. I mean, as long as you're not giving up like Yoshi did in his first game, 5 runs in the first inning. But even then, we might keep you like, well, this game's already gone. We're just going to let you get stretched out. We're gonna give you your full day of 70, 80 pitches, But in any case, yes, Clay Holmes did well, but his whip was a little high for me. There were some guys that I really like in the bullpen that are going to have to step up because we lost some. Marinaccio, Ian Hamilton. We had the amphibious guy. I know it's ambidextrous, but amphibious sounds better. Lou Trevino, he's on 68 DIL. So we have some arms, but hopefully we're not overworking them. As we talked about how taxed the bullpen is, unfortunately, we only did add one arm. That was Caleb Ferguson in a trade with the Dodgers. The only rotation arm we added was Marcus Stroman. Hopefully, he stops being a prima donna and gets back to his one whip with respectable ERA and maybe throw a few more strikes here, man. We added 2 big bats, one bigger than the other, obviously. Juan Soto, we need like a 50 or 60 home run season from him. And then Alex Verdugo, he's going to be patrolling in the outfield, and it's going to be great to see him along with Mr. Judge hitting together, fielding together. And Verdugo's not going to be killing the Yankees with his runs and stolen bases and RBIs and stuff like that anymore. However, what is going to be killing the Yankees is the loss of players. We lost in the bullpen alone David Robertson, Michael King, who was also converted to a starter, which is what he's going to be in San Diego, Wandy Peralta. Those 3 guys, huge for us. And it stinks that we lost them. I mean, we got some good stuff, but the thing is we definitely are going to need them. We're going to need to look for more in the bullpen, or at least for someone to emerge from the bullpen as kind of a high leverage guy, because I would hate to have to use Clay Holmes in the high leverage because he's the most reliable, but then have to rely on someone as not as reliable or not as experienced in the saves position or the closer position. Arms-wise, we lost Domingo Germain, which, I don't know, that's a questionable loss anyway. I don't really mind him. We also did lose Frankie Montas, which he came over from Oakland, didn't really even pitch a whole lot for us, had a decent last game. I think it was like 3 innings or something like that. Now he's pitching in a hitter-friendly ballpark, which I don't think is going to help him. And then finally, we lost Luis Severino. He looked so good at points in time, and then he couldn't hit the plate, and he was hurt and all that good stuff. So it's very unfortunate. His battery mate, Kyle Higashioka, we lost him, and we do have an experienced guy, and then we also have a new guy. So Austin Wells, he looks good. This offseason, hopefully he's going to be able to really step up for us. So here's to a new rookie catcher. We also ended up getting rid of Esteban Florio. He was a minor league guy. Hasn't really done much for us at all, but we were able to get a little bit of a return for him. But in any case, that does it for the Yankees. Unfortunately, I'm not telling you that we're going to win the World Series. I'm not telling you that we're going to be 20-plus time world champions again, but we are hopefully going to compete. I don't see us hitting 500, though. We're going to be struggling to do that. Especially with the loss of pitching, the loss of arms, and our rotation, and the bullpen, it's not going to bode well for us. Hopefully, our offense is going to carry us, and it's absolutely going to have to with Judge, with Rizzo, with Soto, with Verdugo. All these guys are going to have to be on their A game the whole year. No injuries allowed. Nope, not allowing it. Tomorrow, we're going to be heading up to Toronto to talk about the Blue Jays. We're going up to Canada. Those Blue Jays have a powerful lineup, and I'm not looking forward to my AL East pitchers going against that lineup, and they only got better. So in any case, go Yankees. This is J-Kick, and I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.